Welcome to Glastire's weekly top 5. We are joined with great San Antonio artist Michael Menchaca. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
And this week our theme is top 5 shows that are closing soon and you should check out before they're gone. So let's get to it. Number 5, we are shooting here at the Briscoe Western Art Museum in San Antonio. They have a wonderful show called Destino that collects stereographs from the late 19th century and early 20th century in San Antonio. So stereographs are 2 pictures taken at slightly different angles, and then you use special glasses and relax the eyes to create a 3-dimensional effect. And guest curator Ann Wallace did a really great job collecting about 80 from a larger collection that highlights really interesting aspects of San Antonio life: Black residents living in Reconstruction, Native Americans, including Geronimo, Jacalas, the Spanish irrigation systems from colonial rule. It's a great show. It's highly interesting. Highly recommended. Number 4 is The Cult of Machines at the Dallas Museum of Art, which is a show about precisionism and kind of post-war Americans' obsession with machines. Charles Steeler, Charles DeMuth, Georgia O'Keeffe. That looks like a really interesting show. So that show also closes on January 6th as well. Onwards to number 3 is going to be a show which is at a very interesting museum in Canadian Texas, which is a town that I had actually never even heard of, but they have a really interesting art museum called the Citadelle, and this is way up north in the Panhandle. And the Citadelle is a church that was bought by a family who then used it as their residence, and when eventually bequeathed their collection of art to it, wealthy families have kind of donated their private collections and their former residences into art museums. And so in this one, it's a collection of Rembrandt's etchings. It's called Sordid and Sacred, and it kind of is about beggars and saints and holy fools, etc. It definitely would be worth a pilgrimage if you're coming from Oklahoma City or from Lubbock. It would be interesting to catch that before that closes on January 6th.
I haven't heard of that town either. I checked out the website. It looks like a great place to visit, and also printmaking exhibit right now. Checking out the Rembrandts. The details in his etchings are unparalleled, so check it out.
So now number 2 is at the Contemporary in Austin, and it is Huma Bhabha's show. It's an overview of her work. She's a very interesting artist, an American-born Pakistani artist whose works and multimedia, sculptures, painting, etc., photographs, influences, including things like Eastern mythology, the works of Borges, horror tropes, and so this is a pretty interesting collection of works. This closes on January 13th. And finally, number 1 is Michael's show at the McNay, which is 100 years of printmaking, and that also closes on January 6th. Michael took over an entire gallery in the McNay, and Michael, why don't you talk a little bit about...
Sure, yeah, so the title is 100 Years of Printmaking in San Antonio, and so it's a line of exhibitions featuring San Antonio-based printmakers, with me being the younger of the 4. So this is a retrospective of my back catalog of prints, mostly focusing on my social justice printmaking work. This is the largest installation that I've done featuring my prints, and it's another way of looking at printmaking. When you walk into the gallery, what you're basically doing is walking into a living printmaking installation. So that being said, it's a room filled with screen prints entirely. So custom-made wallpaper, over 700 prints were used to make that wallpaper, so check it out. Let me know what you think. Visit my website and leave me a message.
And Michael will actually be giving a talk tonight, Thursday the 3rd, yeah. And that's the free night at the museum, so you can do 2 for 1. Hear Michael talk about the work and see this great show.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.